Every time you touch money, whether it's a few coins, a folded bill, or a payment on your phone, you're sending a message to your mind, to your life, and to the spiritual law that governs everything. Most people don't realize it, but what you say in that moment can either block your abundance or open the door to more. If you've ever felt anxious about money, if you've ever wondered why it slips through your fingers or why it feels so hard to receive, this message is for you. I'm going to show you how one powerful shift, one simple phrase, spoken with faith, can start to change your relationship with money today. This isn't about wishing, it's about aligning your words with truth. If you're ready to stop living from fear and start walking in peace, clarity, and spiritual wealth, stay with me. You're about to learn something that can change everything. Number 1. Speak divine increase every time you handle money. When you touch money, speak divine increase. Not because money has power of its own, but because your word carries the power. Money responds to the vibration of your belief. It multiplies where there is faith and shrinks where there is fear. Every time you hold money in your hand, whether it is $1 or 100, you are in contact with substance. And substance is the visible form of supply shaped by your consciousness, directed by your spoken word. Do not touch money in silence. Do not treat it casually or fearfully. Touch it with reverence. Speak to it with authority. Say aloud, divine increase flows through this money now, because what you bless increases, what you affirm expands. The word is your wand, and you must use it every time you interact with your financial world. Touching money is a sacred moment, not because of the paper, but because of the consciousness you bring to it. Most people speak lack over their money. They look at a small amount and say, "This isn't enough." They pay a bill and say, "There goes my paycheck." They give and say, "I hope I have something left." And then they wonder why more does not come. You must reverse that. You must speak life over your money, not loss. You must speak increase, not insufficiency. This is not wishful thinking. It is spiritual law. The law of increase responds to your vibration. And your vibration is set by your words and your beliefs. When you hold money, you are standing at the point of cause. Whatever you declare over it becomes the truth it carries as it leaves your hand. That is why I say, speak divine increase. Say it when you give, when you receive, when you spend, and when you save. Say it even when you see someone else's money. There is no competition in divine substance. What you bless in another, you draw to yourself. Do not be careless. Even if all you have is a few coins in your hand, say this money is now divinely increased. It carries the vibration of abundance. It returns to me multiplied. You are not talking to the money. You are talking to your subconscious mind. You are speaking to the law, and the law never forgets. The law always responds. There is no power in complaining about how much you have. That closes the door to more. Instead, rejoice in what you hold, however small. Say, "I give thanks for divine increase right now," and mean it. Your feeling is just as important as your words. Feel the truth behind what you say. See that money growing as it leaves you. See it carrying your blessing into the world and returning with friends. When you pay a bill, do not say, "This takes from me." Say, "This payment opens the way for more. I bless this transaction with divine increase. I move in abundance, not fear." When you give to another, say, "This gift carries divine increase." It lifts both the giver and receiver. When you receive money, no matter how little, say, "Divine increase flows in my life. I am always provided for." You must understand, your relationship with money is not just financial, it is spiritual. Money is not your master, it is your servant. And it follows the command of your belief. When you hold it, you are programming it. You are assigning it a spiritual task, and that task is either to bless and multiply, or to vanish in lack. Choose carefully. Speak intentionally. Every dollar in your hand is an opportunity to align with divine law. Some say, "But I don't believe in this." That does not matter. The law works, whether you believe it or not. But when you believe, the results are faster, clearer, and more powerful. Faith activates the law. Doubt delays it. So I tell you, build your faith through repetition. Even if it feels awkward at first, say the words. Declare divine increase. Train your mind to speak truth instead of fear. Say it now. Every time I touch money, divine increase flows. Say it aloud, feel it, repeat it until it becomes your natural response. You will notice a change. You will feel more peace around money. You will see new opportunities appear. You will begin to trust the invisible supply behind the visible money. Money is only one channel. The source is God. Divine substance flows through infinite channels. When you bless one channel, you open yourself to more. Stop cursing your money. Stop resenting your bills. Stop worrying over what you don't have. Begin speaking what you want to see. Speak abundance. Speak increase. Speak prosperity. You are the channel through which divine supply flows. When I had no money, I spoke increase. When I was misunderstood, I spoke peace. When I was overlooked, I spoke recognition. Why? Because the word you speak in faith becomes the reality you walk into. The universe does not respond to worry. It responds to the word, and you are always speaking, whether by voice, by feeling, or by habit. Now is the time to choose your words with power. Touch your money and speak life. Touch your wallet and say, this is full of divine substance. Touch your purse and say, this holds more than enough under grace. Touch your bank card and say, divine increase follows every use of this. You are not playing a game. You are rewriting the pattern of your life. You are breaking cycles of lack and planting new seeds of prosperity. There are no accidents in spiritual law. Every thought, every word, every action returns multiplied. That is why I tell you, do not handle money in silence or fear. Handle it in faith. Speak the increase before you see it. Thank God before it arrives. Align your words with what you desire, not what you fear. Even when you feel discouraged, especially then, speak increase. Say, I may not see it, but divine substance is working. Say, my words are shaping my supply now. Speak not from what you see, but from what you know in truth. You are not limited by the money in your hand. You are backed by the infinite. But you must activate that truth with your word. So make it a practice. Every single time you touch money, speak with intention. Let the words be simple. Let them be strong. Let them come from a place of spiritual authority. Do not look to others for your supply. Look to the divine law. That law is perfect. That law is exact. That law responds to your word. Say it again now. Divine increase flows every time I touch money. Let that be your truth. Let that be your habit. Let that be your new normal. You are not begging. You are declaring. You are not wishing. You are aligning. Speak the increase and expect it. Speak the increase and receive it. Speak the increase and walk in it. This is not a ritual. It is a law. It works for the faithful. It works for the obedient. You must speak what is true, even before it appears in form. That is the work of the spiritual student. That is the path of power. That is the life of faith. Now go forward with this practice. Do not touch money without speaking divine increase. Let every contact with money become a moment of truth. You are the cause. You are the voice. You are the channel. Speak increase, and let divine supply flow without limit. Number 2. Declare God is the true source of your supply. You are never truly lacking when you know your source. Your job, your business, your bank account, even the people around you, these are not your source. They are only channels. The one true source of your supply is God. Until you fully accept this truth, you will always feel uncertain, always chasing, always questioning whether you have enough or whether more will come. But when you declare that God is your source, you step into a life of spiritual authority. You stop depending on the unstable and start relying on the eternal. Declare it now and declare it often. God is the source of my supply. Let this truth settle into your mind, your heart, and your actions. Say it before you start your day. Say it before you open your wallet. Say it when you're unsure how things will work out. You are not relying on man. You are not depending on luck. You are anchored in divine law, and that law is unchanging. People come and go. Jobs rise and fall. Markets shift. Circumstances turn. But divine supply remains steady. It is not limited by time, space, or human systems. It does not run dry. When you understand this, fear loses its grip. Anxiety about money begins to dissolve. You no longer ask, "Will I have enough?" Instead, you affirm, "I am connected to the infinite. My supply is spiritual. My provision is secure." To live by truth, you must detach from the illusion of material dependency. The paycheck is not your provider. The sale is not your savior. The opportunity is not your answer. These are only expressions, temporary forms that move through your life. They serve a purpose, yes, but they are not the source. The source is invisible. The source is divine, and it responds not to effort alone, but to faith. When you declare God as your source, you place your trust in something higher than logic. You stop treating money as your master and start treating your spiritual alignment as the cause of your prosperity. It is not your hustle that brings the blessing. It is your harmony with truth. You can work tirelessly and still struggle if your heart is filled with fear. But when your faith is strong, even a small action brings results. Faith is not passive. It is the most active force in your life. Every time you speak the words, "God is the source of my supply," you activate that force. You redirect your attention from doubt to certainty. You build a foundation that cannot be shaken. So when things appear uncertain, you don't panic. You remember, you speak, you align. This alignment is not just mental, it is spiritual. You are declaring a truth that changes the atmosphere around you. It lifts your energy. It invites new channels to open. It makes you receptive. You no longer look at what is missing. You look at what is promised. And the promise is that your supply is already present in divine form, waiting for you to claim it. To claim it, you must stop looking to others for validation, for help, for rescue. People are not your source. Opportunities are not your source. They are messengers. They come as a result of your belief. So speak the belief that unlocks the floodgates. Speak the truth that God is your unfailing, unlimited, unstoppable source. Make it personal. Say, "I do not rely on man, I rely on divine order." Many people live in survival mode because they've put their trust in things that can fail. They rely on income, on approval, on trends, on effort alone. But those who live by spiritual law know that all power flows from the invisible. You don't have to know how the supply will come, you only have to know where it comes from. That knowing brings peace. That knowing brings power. That knowing brings manifestation. You may have seen doors close. You may have watched your resources shrink. But those moments are never the end. They are invitations to rise in faith. When a door closes, say, "This is not my source. God is my source." When someone disappoints you, say, "They were never my source. My supply comes from a higher place." Say it without anger. Say it without fear. Say it with spiritual confidence. The law responds to your inner position, not your desperation, not your panic, not your begging, but your certainty. When you declare God as your source, you are taking your rightful place as a spiritual being. You are stepping out of lack and into truth. You are no longer chasing provision. You are aligning with it. You are attracting it. You are allowing it to flow freely, because you have removed the blocks of fear and control. Sometimes people ask, "If God is my source, why do I still struggle?" And I say, have you truly let go of the false sources? Have you stopped looking at the number in your account as your truth? Have you stopped giving power to circumstances? Declaring is not just saying the words, it is living the words. It is treating every moment as proof that you are held by divine supply. Live like you are backed by the infinite. Walk like you are supported by the universe. Spend with faith, not fear. Give with love, not limitation. Receive with joy, not guilt. Every action can reflect your trust in your source. You do not need to prove anything. You only need to stay aligned. When you touch money, do not see it as what you earned. See it as a symbol of what flows through divine order. Whether it came through a client, a gift, a return, or a paycheck, it is all the same. God is behind every form. The moment you stop seeing yourself as the provider, the pressure lifts. You are not meant to carry the weight of survival. You are meant to be a channel of divine abundance. Be faithful with your words. Speak only what is true. Say, "I am always provided for. because God is my source. Say, I do not depend on chance. I stand on spiritual law. Say, my needs are met before I even ask. Say it every morning. Say it every time you give. Say it in quiet moments, when fear tries to enter. Let these words become the sound of your soul. There is no greater peace than knowing where your supply comes from. You stop comparing. You stop competing. You stop clinging to outcomes. You become steady, strong, and serene. You become the kind of person who draws good effortlessly. Not because you are special, but because you are aligned, because you are faithful, because you are spiritually clear. Declare this truth: God is the true source of my supply. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Hold it in your heart. Let it guide your choices. Let it shift your emotions. Let it heal your fears. That one truth can rebuild a life, restore a broken heart, reopen a closed path, and release miracles in ways you never imagined. You are no longer bound by appearances. You are connected to divine law. You are not at the mercy of the world. You are in partnership with the infinite. Declare your source daily, trust it fully, follow it faithfully, and watch as supply begins to show up in ways that honor your truth. Number 3. Bless the money and send it out with love. Every time you release money, you shape your future. The way you give, the attitude you carry, the energy behind your transaction, it all speaks to the law. You are not just paying a bill or handing over cash. You are sending a message. And if that message is rooted in faith, love, and blessing, the law returns it to you in ways that multiply your good. So I say to you now, bless the money and send it out with love. Bless it before it leaves your hand. Speak good over it. See it as a vehicle of light. Know that it is carrying your energy into the world. And what you send out, you call back. Most people spend money in fear. They say, I hope this doesn't drain me. They look at their account and feel dread. They give reluctantly, only when necessary. They see money as something to hold tightly, or something that slips away too fast. But spiritual truth asks you to think differently. Money is not a threat. It is not your enemy. It is not your security either. It is neutral. It responds to your intention. It magnifies the consciousness of the one who holds it. And when you treat it with care, when you speak blessing over it, when you release it freely and joyfully, it carries that vibration forward and brings it back multiplied. Money carries memory. It remembers how it was sent. If you send it in anger, it returns with struggle. If you send it in worry, it brings you more worry. But if you send it in love, if you release it with gratitude, if you bless the one who receives it, then that money becomes a channel of increase for both of you. You do not lose when you give in love. You multiply. So when you give, say something simple but true. Say, this money is blessed. It returns to me blessed. Say, I send this out with joy and peace. Do not mutter it. Do not whisper it with hesitation. Speak it clearly. Mean it. Feel it. You are not trying to manipulate the outcome. You are honoring the law. And the law always honors you back. Imagine two people handing over the same amount of money. One is tight-fisted, resentful, anxious. The other is calm, joyful, loving. The outcome for each is not the same. Though the transaction may be equal in number, the spiritual energy is vastly different. The first person sends out resistance. The second person sends out flow. One creates more lack. The other attracts more abundance. This is the difference blessing makes. I teach this not as a theory but as a law. Spiritual law is exact. It does not change based on your mood. It does not guess your meaning. It responds directly to your word and your feeling. You must take responsibility for the energy behind your money. Whether you are spending, giving, or investing, always bless it. Even when you feel unsure, even when things feel tight, especially then, speak the blessing. This is not about pretending you feel good when you don't. It's about choosing to place your trust in a higher truth. It's about saying, no matter how things look, I choose to move in love. That is power. That is maturity. That is spiritual discipline. Anyone can bless money when they feel abundant. But those who bless in times of uncertainty, those are the ones who see miracles. Each time you touch money, pause for just a moment. Place your attention on it. Say, I bless this. I release it with joy. Whether it is $1 or 1,000, treat it with reverence. See it as part of the divine flow. You are not losing anything. You are participating in circulation. What you give does not leave your life. It changes form and finds its way back to you, through new channels, in new ways. You may not always know how the return will come. That is not your concern. Your part is to release it rightly. Release it with love. Release it with confidence. Release it as someone who understands the law. Because when you act from that place, you stand in spiritual authority. You are not begging the universe to respond. You are aligning with what already works. Many people live with a tight grip on their money. They monitor every penny. They give only when forced. They hold on with fear and wonder why nothing flows. But the law cannot fill a clenched fist. It needs space. It needs openness. It needs movement. Money that is blessed and released with love moves like water. It nourishes where it goes and returns even stronger. There is no shortage in divine substance. There is no competition in spiritual flow. What you give in love does not take from you. It expands you. It strengthens your faith. It increases your capacity. So stop worrying about what you lose. Start focusing on what you activate. Every act of giving becomes an act of creation. Every blessing becomes a bridge to more. Speak your blessing over your money before you use it. Do not wait for conditions to be perfect. Create the condition with your word. The blessing is not in the amount. It is in the energy. It is in the intention. It is in the consciousness of love. You may feel you have little now. Bless it anyway. You may feel unsure about your finances. Bless them anyway. The act of blessing transforms what you have. Say this often, I bless this money. It serves the highest good. Say, this money is sent with love. It carries light and returns with increase. These are not magic phrases. They are spiritual declarations. They create alignment. They remind your mind of the truth. They keep you centered in faith, not fear. The moment you begin to bless, you will notice a change. You will feel calmer. You will spend with more trust. You will stop reacting and start choosing. You will attract more opportunities to give and receive. You will shift from survival to stewardship. You are not here to hoard. You are here to flow. You are not here to fear money. You are here to master it through love and truth. When you see someone struggling, do not just feel pity. Bless their finances. Bless their supply. Bless their ability to receive. You do not need to fix everything, but you can send out love. You can uplift the vibration. You can become a source of divine transmission. And what you give in thought and energy, you also strengthen within yourself. Money is not the goal. Alignment is the goal. Love is the goal. Truth is the goal. When those are in place, money becomes a tool of good. It becomes a mirror of your faith. It becomes a sign of your trust. So treat it with honor. Speak your blessing over it, and never forget that how you give matters just as much as what you give. You are powerful in your choices. You are sacred in your actions. You are divinely supported at all times. So give as one who knows. Spend as one who trusts. Speak as one who is free. Bless your money and send it out with love, and watch how heaven moves through every transaction you make. Number 4. Say, money flows freely to me under grace. Say this truth with power and conviction. Money flows freely to me under grace. These are not just words, they are a command to the invisible. They speak to the law that governs all things. When you declare that money flows to you freely, you are not begging or hoping. You are aligning with a spiritual certainty. You are no longer blocked. You are no longer bound. You are open, clear, and available to receive what is already yours by divine right. There is a way money comes that does not involve struggle. There is a path where your needs are met without anxiety or exhaustion. That path is called grace. Grace is the divine flow that requires no force, no stress, no manipulation. Grace carries your good to you when your spirit is in harmony with truth. It removes obstacles, softens outcomes, and restores peace where there was pressure. When you say money flows freely to me under grace, you are stepping into this higher current. Many people believe that money must be earned through toil or acquired through effort. But spiritual law tells you otherwise. Money, like everything else in your life, responds to your consciousness. If you believe you must chase it, it runs. If you believe you must suffer for it, you struggle. But when you believe it flows to you freely, it comes with ease. It finds you, it moves toward you, not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. There is no virtue in hardship. There is no reward in suffering. The universe does not honor pain. It honors faith. It honors alignment. It honors right thought. If you are willing to drop the belief that things must be hard, you will begin to see just how much you've been holding back the very good you desire. Say it now with your whole heart. Money flows freely to me under grace. You do not need to see the how. You only need to claim the truth. The supply is already present. The channels are waiting. The opportunities exist, but they cannot find you until you open the door. You open that door with your word. You open it with your belief. You open it with your willingness to stop controlling and start trusting. Grace is not something you earn. It is a gift you accept, and it is always available. There is no shortage of grace. There is no limit to what it can do. Grace can move through any circumstance. It can reach you in a moment of despair. It can restore what was lost. It can turn around situations that seemed hopeless. But you must speak it into motion. You must declare your willingness to receive without fear. Speak it each day. Speak it when you feel uncertain. Speak it when things are quiet. Say, money flows freely to me under grace. Say it out loud. Say it with a calm mind and an open heart. Say it without pressure. Let the vibration of those words rise up and fill your space. Let them become part of your thinking. Let them rewire your expectations. You are not meant to chase. You are meant to attract. You are not meant to cling. You are meant to allow. You are not meant to struggle. You are meant to receive. These are truths that will change your life if you will let them. The world may not understand this. People may scoff. They may say it sounds too easy. But those who know the law know that ease is not weakness. It is wisdom. What you declare shapes what you allow. If your words are full of tension, your life will reflect it. If your words are filled with grace, your experience softens. This is not superstition. This is cause and effect. This is spiritual order. When you say money flows freely to you, you cancel out the belief that it is withheld. When you say it comes under grace, you release the idea that it must come through pain. Look at your past and ask yourself, how often have you expected money to be difficult? How often have you told yourself, it's hard to earn, it's hard to keep, it's hard to get ahead? Those beliefs created your experience, but they are not permanent. You can speak new words. You can claim a new reality. You can step into a rhythm of peace and provision simply by choosing to agree with divine law. This declaration is not a trick. It is not magic. It is alignment. It is the process of matching your inner world to the truth of how things work spiritually. You do not need to impress anyone. You do not need to prove your worth. You only need to accept that your supply is secured, that your path is supported, that your needs are already met in spiritual substance. And yes, there may be moments when doubt arises. There may be voices in your mind that say, this isn't working, or this can't be true. When that happens, return to your word. Say it again, money flows freely to me under grace. Not through force, not through fear, not through endless striving, through grace. That is your anchor. That is your truth. Do not just say these words, feel them. Imagine what it would be like to live in that freedom, to wake up knowing your provision is certain, to make decisions from a place of abundance instead of worry, to give without panic, to receive without guilt, to move through life with the assurance that you are backed by something higher than effort. There is no lack in the kingdom of spirit. There is no delay in divine order. If something appears blocked, it is only because you are holding on to old beliefs. Let them go. Speak your new truth. Let your mind and heart be trained in the energy of freedom. Grace does not struggle. Grace flows. And grace is ready to flow through your life in every area, including your finances. Say it once more. Money flows freely to me under grace. Let that be your affirmation. Let that be your mindset. Let that be the filter through which you see your world. Do not worry about how. Do not measure your faith by what's in your account. Keep your eyes on the truth. Keep your spirit aligned. Keep your words strong and faithful. What you speak, you live. What you believe, you attract. What you expect, you experience. So choose the words that match the life you desire. Let every thought, every prayer, every declaration reflect the freedom and favor of divine supply. You are not here to suffer. You are here to be free. You are not here to barely get by. You are here to overflow with grace. From this moment forward, walk as one who knows the law. Live as one who trusts the process. Speak as one who is rooted in truth. And every time you think of money, every time you handle it, every time you speak of it, declare with boldness, money flows freely to me under grace. Number 5. I affirm that I always have more than enough now. You create your reality with the words you speak, and when you declare, I affirm that I always have more than enough now, you break the illusion of lack and step into the power of truth. This is not about pretending. This is about claiming what is already yours by divine right. You are not here to live in limitation. You are here to live in abundance, not someday, not after conditions improve, but now. Right now, this moment, divine substance surrounds you. It flows through your life in seen and unseen ways. The only question is whether you acknowledge it, whether you align with it, whether you speak as someone who trusts that truth. When you affirm that you always have more than enough, you signal to the law that you are no longer waiting. You are no longer hoping. You are receiving. You are recognizing what is already present in spiritual form. People often wait for circumstances to change before they speak abundance. But the law responds to your inner state, not your outer conditions. That is why your word must go first. Your belief must lead. You do not wait to feel secure. You affirm your security, and the law shapes your reality accordingly. When you say, I always have more than enough now, you are building a new foundation. You are setting a new standard for what you allow in your life. This affirmation must become your identity. It must guide your choices, your tone, your energy. You must walk through your day with the certainty that you are supported, that your needs are met, that you live under divine provision. No matter what appears to be missing, you speak from the truth that nothing is missing in spirit. Everything you need already exists. It is seeking you just as you are seeking it. The bridge between you and your good is your word. Say it often. Say it when your mind tries to argue. Say it when the world tells you something different. Say it even if your outer experience hasn't caught up yet. Because this is how spiritual change begins, not through reaction, but through declaration. You affirm what you desire as if it is already here. You speak from faith, not from fear. You claim your enoughness in the now. Many people speak from lack without realizing it. They say, I hope I make it through the month. They look at their accounts and say, it's not enough. They speak about struggle as if it is truth. But these words are seeds, and the law does not judge them. It simply produces according to the pattern you plant. When you change your affirmation, you change your harvest. Speak it now with strength. I affirm that I always have more than enough now. Let those words become your new rhythm. Let them dissolve the fear that has followed you for years. Let them replace the belief that you must fight for every dollar, that you are always just getting by. That is not divine truth. That is a mental program, and you have the power to change it. The moment you speak differently, your energy begins to shift. You carry yourself with more peace. You stop gripping everything so tightly. You open yourself to unexpected channels. You release the heaviness that has been weighing on your spirit. This is not imagination. This is spiritual law in motion. The universe is always listening. Your subconscious is always recording. The words you speak become the blueprint of your reality. Do not confuse your current conditions with your permanent truth. You may have experienced lack before. You may have been told there isn't enough. You may have believed that prosperity is for others. But today, you speak a different word. You say, I always have more than enough now, and that word begins to clear out the old patterns. That word builds a new structure. That word draws in new evidence. The law is not slow. It is exact. It responds to clarity. When you speak from a place of strength, it brings results. You may not see everything at once, but you will feel the shift. You will notice the peace. You will move through your life with greater ease, not because the world changed, but because you did. Your inner world is the cause. Your experience is the effect. This affirmation is not about luxury or excess. It is about sufficiency. It is about knowing that what you need is present, that you are never abandoned, that the universe supports those who trust its design. You are not asking for more than you deserve. You are affirming what is already given by grace. You are choosing to live by spiritual reality instead of material fear. Make this a practice. Say it when you wake up. Say it when you shop. Say it before you pay a bill. Say it when your mind wants to worry. Let this truth become louder than any doubt. Let it silence the old stories. You have repeated lack long enough. Now it is time to repeat abundance. Now it is time to believe that you are worthy of fullness, not just survival. Your worth is not determined by the number in your account. It is defined by the truth of who you are, a spiritual being, guided by divine law, backed by infinite supply. That is your identity. That is your power. And when you speak from that place, everything around you begins to reflect it. Opportunities shift. Resources flow. Doors open. Because you are no longer speaking as one in need. You are speaking as one who knows. There is no need to push or beg. The law does not require struggle. It requires alignment. It responds to the voice of truth. And the truth is that you are not here to lack. You are here to live in divine sufficiency. You are here to reflect the fullness of spirit in your own unique expression. But to do that, your words must agree with your purpose. Speak them clearly. I affirm that I always have more than enough now. Do not add conditions. Do not explain it away. Do not water it down. Just speak it. Just believe it. Just allow it to settle into your bones until it becomes your normal. Until every thought begins to agree, until every cell carries the vibration of enough. You are not asking for favors. You are not waiting for permission. You are claiming your spiritual right. You are remembering who you are. And in doing so, you teach the law how to treat you. You train your mind to see differently. You break the cycle of scarcity and replace it with a pattern of peace. Let the world see someone who lives from abundance, even in the face of contrast. Let them see the evidence of truth working through your life. You don't need to convince anyone. Just live it. Just speak it. Just know it. You always have more than enough now. That is your reality. That is your strength. That is your divine truth, and you will live by it from this day forward. Number 6. Release fear and trust divine substance is endless. You were never meant to live in fear, because divine substance is endless and always available to you. The moment you release fear, you make space for truth. You step out of limitation and into the infinite flow of supply that has been with you all along. Fear blocks. Fear shrinks. Fear closes the door, but faith opens it wide. When you stop worshiping fear and start trusting divine aid, everything begins to move. Fear is not your protector. It is not your friend. It does not keep you safe. It keeps you stuck. It tricks you into believing that resources are limited, that opportunities are rare, that you have to fight for your share. But that is not the truth. The truth is this: divine substance is never exhausted. It cannot run out. It cannot be owned by anyone. It is spiritual, invisible, and always present, flowing through all things, waiting to be claimed by those who believe. If you want to live in abundance, you must surrender the habit of fearing lack. You must stop measuring your future by your past. You must stop repeating the stories that say you are not supported, not worthy, not enough. Those stories are a lie. They come from fear, and fear is not based on divine truth. Truth says there is more than enough for all. Truth says your supply is not dependent on the world. Truth says the universe is generous, not stingy. Let that truth reach you now. Let it replace the tight feeling in your chest. Let it dissolve the knot in your stomach. You do not need to fear what is already yours by divine right. You do not need to panic when things seem uncertain. That is the illusion. The deeper reality is that your source is spiritual. Divine substance does not wait for economic conditions. It does not bow to circumstances. It flows endlessly, because it is created by a law that never fails. Say it with confidence. I release fear. I trust divine substance is endless. These are words of power. These are words that shift your vibration. They break the grip of worry. They soften your heart. They restore peace to your nervous system. Your body responds to truth. Your spirit rises when you stop feeding it fear. You were conditioned to worry. You were taught that success is hard, that provision is limited, that you must compete to survive. But those teachings were rooted in the material world. They did not reflect spiritual reality. And now you are being called to unlearn what is false and replace it with what is eternal. Divine substance is not affected by your mistakes. It is not withheld when you fall short. It does not disappear when you're uncertain. It is always here, always ready, always flowing, but you must tune into it. You must align with it. You must stop expecting the worst and start preparing for the best. You must walk in faith, not in fear. You cannot receive while holding on to doubt. You cannot feel supported while rehearsing disaster. That is why it is essential to release fear completely. Do not just manage it, let it go. Let it fall away like old skin. It is not part of you. It is not your identity. It is a distortion, and it no longer belongs in your life. When fear rises, do not argue with it. Do not fight it. Speak truth to it. Say, "You are not my guide. I trust the law of divine substance." Say, "My supply is secured. My needs are already met." Say, "There is nothing to fear in a universe governed by truth." The more you speak this, the more your inner world changes. The more you change, the more your results change. People wait for their bank account to grow before they feel safe. But spiritual safety does not come from numbers. It comes from knowing, from trusting, from standing firm in the truth that your source is divine, not material, that your supply is spiritual, not circumstantial, that your life is guided by law, not luck. When you live by this knowing, everything softens. You stop striving. You stop controlling. You stop chasing. Instead, you begin receiving. You begin attracting. You begin walking in peace. Fear takes you out of the present moment and places you in an imaginary future where everything goes wrong. Faith brings you back to now, where your power is, where your clarity lives, where your supply begins. Say it as many times as you need to. I release fear. I trust divine substance is endless. Let those words clear the noise in your mind. Let them wash over your doubts. Let them become your anchor. Not a desperate chant, but a calm, steady truth. You do not have to prove anything. You do not have to earn divine support. You are already held. You are already supported. You are already provided for. You may have moments when fear tries to return. That is normal. The difference now is that you no longer listen to it. You no longer agree with it. You no longer give it space. You speak over it. You cancel it with truth. You replace it with trust. This is your spiritual responsibility, to guard your consciousness, to choose your thoughts, to speak what you want instead of what you fear. Fear shrinks your vision. It keeps you small. It tells you to settle. But you were not created for a life of survival. You were created to reflect the abundance of divine substance. That reflection begins within. It begins with your belief. It begins with your words. Your external world mirrors your internal atmosphere. When you release fear, the mirror changes. There is no limit to what you can receive when you are aligned with truth. There is no shortage in divine substance. It does not favor one person over another. It is not reserved for the lucky or the chosen. It flows to all who trust, who speak, who act with faith. You are not excluded. You are not overlooked. You are not lacking. You are ready. You are open. You are enough. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait for all signs to point in your favor. Step forward now. Declare your truth now. Live from trust now, because now is the only moment where your power lives. Now is where divine substance meets you. Now is where change begins. Each time you feel fear, let that be your signal to go deeper into faith. Let that be your invitation to speak the truth louder. Let that be your opportunity to remind your mind that your spirit already knows the way. Say it clearly. Say it boldly. Say it as often as you need to, until your whole being believes it. I release fear and trust that divine substance is endless. This is the path. This is the practice. This is the way to break cycles of lack, to silence the voice of doubt, to step into the life you were designed for. You do not need to force anything. You only need to align. Fear is no longer your companion. It has no place in your decisions, your relationships, your finances, or your future. Let it go. Let it leave. Let it fall behind you, like a shadow you no longer follow. From this moment on, choose truth, choose trust, choose divine substance as your reality. Speak it, live it, believe it, because the flow is waiting and you are ready to receive. Number 7. Give thanks for every dollar as a holy gift. Gratitude is the doorway to increase, and when you give thanks for every dollar as a holy gift, you activate a spiritual law that multiplies what you honor. Every dollar you receive, no matter how small or ordinary it may seem, carries divine substance behind it. It is not just money, it is evidence of movement, of flow, of answered prayer, and when you treat it with sacred appreciation, you make yourself ready to receive more. Most people wait until they have more to feel grateful. They say, "When I get the raise, I'll be thankful. When I earn more, I'll appreciate it." But that is not how the law works. You must give thanks now, not later. You must acknowledge the divine in what you already hold, because when you do, you increase its value spiritually. You lift it out of the realm of numbers and into the realm of blessings. What you appreciate expands. What you ignored diminishes. So I tell you, give thanks every time money comes into your hands. Whether it's a paycheck, a tip, a refund, or a gift, speak your thanks aloud. Say, "Thank you, God, for this holy gift." Do not just think it. Do not just feel it. Speak it, declare it. Let your words carry the vibration of joy and reverence. Let the law know that you recognize your supply. When you treat money as sacred, you separate yourself from the world's fear-based relationship with it. You no longer see it as something to chase or hoard. You see it as a divine tool, flowing through you for good. You see it as a reflection of your alignment with truth. And because you treat it with spiritual honor, you attract more of it. Some people dismiss small amounts. They say, "It's just a few dollars." They overlook the little blessings, waiting for something bigger. But that attitude blocks increase. The law cannot expand what you do not value. If you are careless with a small gift, you are not ready for more. If you ignore the first signs of abundance, you delay the rest. But when you receive even $1 and say, "This is holy," you create a magnetic field around yourself. You show the universe that you are ready, that you are responsible, that you are grateful. Gratitude must become your natural response. It is not reserved for special occasions. It is not something you practice once a week. It must flow from you constantly. With every transaction, with every gift, with every form of increase. Gratitude is a form of faith. It says, "I see the hand of spirit in this." It says, "I know I am provided for." It says, "I honor what I've been given." You do not need to understand where the next blessing will come from. You only need to give thanks for what has already arrived. Each time you do, you open yourself wider to the flow of more. You are not begging. You are not hoping. You are standing in alignment with the truth that says, "My life is full. My source is generous. My needs are met." This practice will change how you see money. It will soften your relationship with it. You will no longer view it through the eyes of lack or fear. You will stop saying, "It's not enough." You will stop waiting for a miracle. You will begin seeing every moment as a miracle already in motion. You will walk with a sense of reverence, knowing that everything you receive is touched by divine order. Give thanks when you receive money. Give thanks when you pay a bill. Give thanks when someone treats you, blesses you, remembers you. Give thanks even when it seems small or unexpected. Your words create a spiritual atmosphere around you. Your gratitude becomes a signal to the law. It says, I see, I notice, I receive with joy. And let your gratitude be pure. Do not say thank you, but I wish it were more. Do not say thanks, but I still need this. Those are statements of lack, wrapped in a disguise of appreciation. Speak cleanly. Speak simply. Speak as someone who trusts the law. Say, this is a holy gift. I bless it. I give thanks. Let your heart be full as you speak. Let your whole being radiate thankfulness. When you treat money with sacred respect, it becomes your servant, not your stressor. It begins to work for you. It comes with less effort. It stays longer. It stretches further. It connects you with new opportunities. Because you are no longer resisting it. You are no longer judging it. You are no longer fearing it. You are welcoming it. Money is energy. It responds to the environment you create. Gratitude clears the way. It removes blocks. It dissolves shame. It cancels old beliefs. It sets you free to receive without guilt. It aligns your inner world with the divine principle of increase. You were never meant to just survive. You were meant to thrive. And that begins with thankfulness. Some people say, I'll be grateful when I finally make enough. But enough is a state of mind, not a number. If you cannot be thankful now, you will not be thankful later. More does not make a grateful heart. A grateful heart makes more. Choose to honor what is here. Speak a blessing over every dollar. Let your words be rich with sincerity. Say, thank you for this holy gift. I receive it in faith. I trust that this is part of my divine supply. Say, I treat this money with care and purpose. I use it wisely and with joy. These simple statements carry power. They tell your subconscious what to believe. They shift your focus from lack to abundance. They keep your energy clean. You will begin to notice small shifts, less anxiety, more clarity, better decisions, new opportunities. You will feel lighter, more connected, more grounded in truth. This is the fruit of spiritual alignment. This is what happens when you give thanks consistently. You may be tempted to skip this practice on hard days. When money feels tight or things seem delayed, you might think there's nothing to be thankful for. But that is the moment when gratitude matters most. That is the time to speak with the most conviction. Say, even now, I give thanks. Even now, I honor the gifts that are present. Even now, I trust that more is on the way. Gratitude is a spiritual discipline. It is not passive. It is an act of faith, and it must be practiced with intention. When you give thanks for every dollar, you are training your mind to see abundance where others see lack. You are strengthening your connection to the truth. You are becoming a vessel for more. So from now on, never touch money without giving thanks. Never receive a blessing without speaking your appreciation. Never ignore the small miracles. Treat every dollar as a sacred sign of the divine substance flowing through your life. Speak to it, bless it, honor it, and watch how your world begins to shift. This is your invitation to rise. This is your moment to choose a higher way. Give thanks, live in gratitude, and let every dollar become a holy gift that leads you deeper into truth, into peace, and into the endless flow of spiritual abundance that belongs to you now. Number 8. Say, unexpected riches now come to me freely. Say this out loud with conviction and clarity. Unexpected riches now come to me freely. These are not idle words or wishful thinking. This is a spiritual decree that carries authority. You are not asking the universe to do you a favor. You are declaring your openness to receive in ways that are beyond your plans, beyond your logic, and beyond your current understanding. When you say it with faith, you activate divine law. You align yourself with unseen channels of abundance that are already in motion. There is no limit to the ways good can come to you. The universe is not confined to your job, your income, or your expectations. Riches do not only arrive through hard effort or predictable means. They can come through gifts, opportunities, insights, unexpected contacts, divine timing, or even apparent coincidences that shift everything in your favor. But you must be open to them. You must make room in your mind to believe that something good and unexpected is already on its way. Most people live in the pattern of expecting only what they already know. They believe what they can see. They predict their future based on their past. And in doing so, they shut the door on miracles. But spiritual law is not limited by your history. It is not bound by your circumstances. When you say, "Unexpected riches now come to me freely," you open the door to surprises, to sudden breakthroughs, to divine timing, and to blessings that find you without strain. You are not limited by logic. You are not restricted by what makes sense. You are governed by law, the law of increase, the law of faith, the law of supply, and that law responds to your expectation. If you walk around expecting the same routine, you will receive the same routine. But when you speak with confidence, "Unexpected riches now come to me freely," you create a spiritual pathway for new forms of wealth to appear. Riches are not only money. Riches are also wisdom, relationships, opportunities, support, creative ideas, and solutions that elevate your life. When you say riches, you speak of fullness in every area. And when you say riches, you speak of fullness in every area. And when you say unexpected, you release the need to control how it arrives. You give the universe permission to bless you in ways you haven't even imagined yet. And when you say freely, you affirm that no force is required, no struggle is necessary, only your alignment with truth. This is not fantasy, this is spiritual alignment. The more you speak this truth, the more your inner resistance fades. The fear that used to tighten your chest begins to dissolve. The habit of overthinking your finances loosens. You stop trying to figure out every detail. You stop needing guarantees. You start trusting divine intelligence to orchestrate your good. You start expecting favor, grace, and provision to meet you in unexpected ways. Say it now with authority. "Unexpected riches now come to me freely." Let the sound of that truth move through your body. Let it rise above the voice of doubt. Let it override the old pattern that says, "Nothing good ever happens to me." That is not your truth. That is a program, and you are here to break it. You are here to speak a new word that creates a new experience. You may not know how or when. That is not your work. Your work is to speak the truth, to trust the process, to welcome the unknown, and to stay open. Your work is to live in a state of joyful expectation. You are not here to chase money. You are here to attract it. You are not here to force outcomes. You are here to cooperate with spiritual flow. Every time you say this affirmation, something shifts. Your frequency lifts. Your inner atmosphere becomes lighter. The energy you carry into the world becomes more receptive. You no longer walk with a sense of desperation. You move with peace. You act with calm confidence, and the law responds to that inner change. Unexpected riches do not arrive in a tense mind. They flow into a space that is free, relaxed, and expectant. So release the mental pressure. Release the fear of not knowing. Release the belief that good must come slowly. Say, "It is already on the way. I do not chase. I prepare. I do not doubt. I receive." The more freely you allow your blessings to arrive, the more quickly they do. Start looking at every moment as a doorway. Each interaction, each conversation, each decision could be part of your breakthrough. The channel may be hidden now, but it is already chosen. Your job is not to predict it. Your job is to affirm it. Say it again. "Unexpected riches now come to me freely." Say it when you wake up. Say it when you go to sleep. Say it with gratitude in your heart. Say it with joy in your voice. You are not making something happen. You are aligning with what is already happening in spirit. You are moving into harmony with abundance. You are positioning yourself as a receiver. And when your words match your truth, the outer world rearranges itself to reflect that harmony. Do not block the flow by saying, "It's too late," or "I've never been lucky," or "I don't see how." Those words carry the vibration of resistance. They close the door. Replace them immediately with truth. Say, "I expect miracles. I expect provision. I expect divine surprise." That is the energy that opens doors. That is the tone that activates the law. Every person who ever received a breakthrough spoke differently before it came. They changed their internal conversation. They dared to believe before they saw. And because of that, they attracted what others said was impossible. You are no different. The moment you speak with conviction, you separate yourself from fear. You align with grace. You say to the universe, I am ready now. This is not about being perfect. It's about being available. It's about letting go of the need to force or control. It's about creating a space in your heart that says, I trust. A space that welcomes the unknown, not with anxiety, but with peace. A space that sees delay as preparation, not punishment. A space that knows deep down that what you are seeking is also seeking you. So prepare your life to receive. Keep your heart open. Keep your mind clear. Keep your words full of faith. Let go of struggle. Let go of the old stories. Let go of the fear that you are forgotten or behind. You are not late. You are not overlooked. You are exactly where you need to be. Speak as someone who knows this. Live as someone who believes it. You are worthy of increase. You are ready for surprise. You are available for overflow. And it begins with your word. Say it again now. Unexpected riches now come to me, freely. Let that become your daily rhythm. Let it be your new normal. Let it shape your expectations and reset your reality. Because the law always answers faith. It always honors those who speak truth. And it always delivers in ways that go beyond what you thought was possible. Number 9. Proclaim this money returns multiplied and blessed. Every time you release money, you have the power to decide what it does next. And when you proclaim, this money returns multiplied and blessed, you are not just making a statement, you are activating spiritual law. Your words shape energy. Your intention directs results. Money doesn't just leave your hand and vanish. It carries your energy with it, and it comes back in the form you declare. When you speak multiplication and blessing over your money, you ensure it returns with increase in divine favor. Too many people spend money in silence or anxiety. They let it go with hesitation. They whisper doubts in their minds, fearing they will not have enough after it's gone. But that fear only creates more lack. The law is precise. It reflects your state of belief. If you send your money out in fear, it follows that vibration. But if you speak over it with bold faith and gratitude, it carries your spiritual authority into the world and returns in alignment with that truth. Your words are not small. They are not empty. They are containers for power. When you handle money and declare, this money returns multiplied and blessed, you are not just being optimistic. You are planting a seed in the realm of spirit. That seed cannot be destroyed. It will grow. It will manifest. It will return, because spiritual substance never leaves your life. It simply changes form and flows back in response to your word. There is a law of increase operating at all times. You do not create the law, but you must cooperate with it. And cooperation begins with the way you speak. If you treat your giving as a loss, you stop the flow. But when you declare that what you give returns to you, multiplied and enriched, you enter into the rhythm of abundance. You acknowledge that your supply is spiritual, that the universe responds with accuracy, and that nothing given in faith is ever wasted. Say it out loud. This money returns multiplied and blessed. Let your voice reflect certainty. Let your energy rise with that truth. Speak over every dollar you spend, every gift you give, every payment you make, whether it's a large transaction or the smallest act of generosity. Proclaim the same truth. You are not losing. You are circulating. You are participating in a divine exchange that ensures every outflow is matched with a greater inflow. This principle works for all who believe. It is not reserved for the wealthy or the lucky. It works for anyone who aligns their thoughts, emotions, and words with divine law. You may have spent years thinking money was hard to keep. You may have grown up believing it was scarce. But today you speak a new word. You declare a new pattern. You proclaim that money is no longer something that escapes you. It is something that returns with more. You must let this declaration become a habit. Not a phrase you say once or twice, but a constant truth you live by. Before you give, say it. Before you pay, say it. When you make decisions about your finances, say it. When you bless someone else, say it. Do not just think it. Speak it. The law responds to sound. It responds to vibration. Your voice has authority when it carries conviction. You do not have to know how it will return. That is not your concern. The how belongs to divine order. Your part is the what. Your part is the word. Your part is to remain in the vibration of trust. To speak increase when the world speaks lack. To declare blessing when your mind tries to worry. To act as if the return is guaranteed, because it is. Nothing you give in faith is ever lost. It circulates, it moves, it expands, it returns, not just in amount, but in energy. The money you spend today may return through a different path tomorrow. That's why you must stay open. You must let go of rigid expectations and allow the law to work. Bless your money and trust the process. The world may tell you to hold tightly to what you have, to fear losing, to only give when you are sure you won't go without. But spiritual truth teaches the opposite. It says, give freely, speak blessing, trust divine substance, and expect increase. Because divine law operates on faith, not fear, on release, not control, on trust, not tension. Say it again now. This money returns multiplied and blessed. Do not hesitate. Do not question it. Let it be your immediate response. Let it be your spiritual practice. Let it rewire your thoughts. Each time you say it, you are breaking the habit of lack. Each time you declare it, you are stepping further into alignment with abundance. This isn't just about attracting more money. It's about changing your entire relationship with giving, receiving, and circulation. It's about transforming the fear that kept you in survival mode. It's about stepping into the knowing that you are part of an infinite flow, and that flow is intelligent, responsive, and always working in your favor. Proclaim this truth, no matter what your situation looks like. Whether you are paying off debt, saving for something new, or simply meeting daily needs, your declaration creates the condition for increase. The outer world may take time to shift, but your inner world will change immediately. That shift in consciousness is what magnetizes results. It is what draws opportunities. It is what opens new channels. There are people and situations already prepared to bless you, but they cannot reach you while you speak doubt. They cannot connect with you while you affirm fear. They are waiting for you to rise in your word, to declare what is yours, to speak as one who trusts, not one who worries. You do not need a sign to believe. You need belief to see the sign. So walk forward in faith. Spend with peace. Give with joy. Bless every transaction. Know that nothing you release in love will ever diminish you. It will only expand what is possible. The law is exact. What you speak, you receive. What you affirm, you experience. So let your word match your desire. Let your declaration carry strength. Let it become a seed that grows beyond what you can imagine. From this moment on, never release money without speaking over it. Never give without a blessing. Never spend without affirming return. Speak it boldly. This money returns multiplied and blessed. Let that be your new normal. Let that be your foundation. Let that be the truth you live by. Because when you proclaim it, the law hears you, and it answers, always. Number 10. Align your words with wealth under spiritual law. If you want to experience true wealth, you must first speak as if it belongs to you. Because under spiritual law, your words carry the authority to shape your reality. Every sentence you speak, every phrase you repeat, every thought you allow to form into sound is either aligning you with abundance or pushing it further away. There is no middle ground. Your words are creative forces. They either reflect the truth of divine wealth or they mirror the fear of lack. Many people pray for prosperity while speaking poverty. They ask for more while affirming shortage. They wish for freedom while declaring struggle. This contradiction blocks the very blessings they seek. The spiritual law is simple and exact. Your outer life reflects your inner speech, not just what you say in moments of affirmation, but what you say all the time when you're paying bills, when you're thinking about your future, when you're talking about your financial life with others. Your words carry vibration. They are not invisible thoughts. They are living commands, shaping the energy around you and instructing the law to respond in kind. If you speak doubt, you reinforce delay. If you speak struggle, you remain in resistance. But when you align your words with wealth, not just casually, but intentionally, you shift the entire atmosphere of your life. You set a new spiritual pattern. You give the law something to reflect back to you. Begin with honesty. Ask yourself what you've been saying about money, about opportunity, about your own ability to prosper. Do you speak in worry? Do you tell stories of hardship? Do you make jokes about being broke or not having enough? These words may seem harmless, but they are declarations. The law does not laugh at sarcasm. It responds to consistency. It mirrors the emotional tone behind what you speak. So you must speak wealth, even before you see it. Do not wait for your bank balance to give you permission. Speak wealth because it is your spiritual birthright. Speak it because divine substance is unlimited. Speak it because truth is more powerful than temporary appearances. Say, I live in abundance. I expect increase. I speak prosperity. Let those words become your rhythm. Let them fill your home, your workplace, your inner dialogue. This is not about empty affirmations. This is about speaking from the deepest level of knowing. You are not convincing yourself, you are reminding yourself. You are aligning with what is already real in spirit. Wealth exists now. It is available now, but the bridge between you and that reality is built with your word. Spiritual law requires agreement. It does not force itself on you. It waits for your cooperation. That cooperation begins in thought, but it must be completed in word. Thought shapes belief. Word activates law. When you speak from truth, you create an opening. You become a magnet for experiences, people, and opportunities that match your declaration. Every day, in every moment, you are affirming something. You are either saying money is hard, or money comes easily. You are either saying, I never have enough, or I always have more than I need. You are either saying things never work out for me, or everything is working in my favor. These are not just phrases, they are frequencies, they are spiritual instructions, and they form the framework of your financial experience. So begin to speak with awareness. Listen to yourself closely. Catch every word that falls out of alignment and correct it immediately. Do not allow words of lack to pass through your lips without replacing them. Say instead, I cancel that. I speak truth. I align my words with wealth. Let your speech become clean. Let it become clear. Let it reflect only what you desire to see. This is not denial of facts. It is alignment with spiritual law. It is choosing to speak what is real in the higher realm, rather than what is temporary in the material. When you speak wealth, you bring divine substance into form. You take the invisible and call it into the visible. You do not do this through effort or worry. You do it through words spoken with faith, spoken with calm conviction. Make this your practice. When you wake up, declare your abundance. When you spend money, affirm your prosperity. When you give, speak increase. When you receive, bless it aloud. Do not treat your words as casual. Treat them as sacred. Each one holds the power to open or close the flow of supply. You are not just speaking into the air. You are speaking into law. You are creating the conditions that shape your tomorrow. Say, everything I say aligns with abundance. Say, my words invite wealth, favor, and freedom. Say, I speak what I want to see. These are not tricks, they are truths. They are laws. They are the foundation for a life that reflects the richness of spirit. If you catch yourself in fear, pause. Do not continue speaking from that place. Say, I choose a better word. I speak from faith. When someone around you talks about lack, do not join them. Speak your truth calmly. Say, I believe in divine supply. I trust spiritual law. Let your words be a quiet example of strength. You do not need to argue. You only need to remain aligned. As your words change, your life will begin to change with them. You will feel more peace. You will notice doors opening. You will attract ideas that move you forward. People will respond differently to you. Resources will begin to flow in ways you did not plan, not because you manipulated them, but because you aligned with truth. That is how spiritual law works. It does not force, it responds. There is no need to shout. There is no need to plead. Speak gently. Speak clearly. Speak with assurance. Say only what you want to experience. If a thought does not support your wealth, do not give it a voice. If a belief does not affirm your provision, do not repeat it. You are not obligated to speak from fear. You are free to speak from truth. That freedom is your power. Your mouth is a tool of creation. Use it wisely. Use it deliberately. Use it as an instrument of spiritual wealth. When you do, you will begin to live in a way that reflects divine abundance, not just in finances, but in all areas. Because the same law that governs money governs joy, health, and love, and it responds equally to the word you speak. So from this moment on, choose your language with care. Speak increase. Speak freedom. Speak clarity. Let your words be consistent with the life you desire. Let them carry the tone of peace. Let them reflect the certainty of one who knows that spiritual law never fails. You are not guessing. You are not experimenting. You are walking in mastery. Align your words with wealth, and the law will align your life with everything your soul is ready to receive. Say it now. Say it often. Say it with full trust. I align my words with wealth under spiritual law, and I live in the flow of divine abundance from this day forward.